नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देव गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। Hare Krishna. Gaura Purnima is the celebration of most auspicious August, adorable advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden avatar. Here is a small offering by ISKM Matajis.
Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Person Krishna appeared as his own worshipper to establish the Sankirtana movement, the Dharma Yuga in this age of Kali. He is the combined form of Krishna and the Krishna's most beloved devotee, Srimati Radharani. He came to experience her love for him and to show by example how to fully surrender to Krishna. He came to deliver all the fallen souls by a sublime method of chanting of holy name of Krishna. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, in the age of Kali, the intelligent person will perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although he is not blackish, but he is Krishna himself and he is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons and his companions.
Sri Advaita Acharya felt pain to see people in general, without Krishna consciousness, shamelessly engaging in material sense gratification. Advaita Acharya prayed to the Lord for several months. He worshipped his Saligram Shilas lovingly with scared Tulasi and the Ganges water, calling out to the Lord to the manifest and show a way to the worldly people to reach the eternal spiritual abode. His loud cries pierced the coverings of the material universe, and the echoing through the transcendental Vaikuntha Loka reached the ears of Sri Krishna in Golaka. Sri Krishna then advented Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is the son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi.
The district of Mayapur, in the town of Nadia, the full moon evening in the month of Falguna, an auspicious time full of auspicious symptoms, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented himself with the chanting of the holy name Hare Krishna. Out of his causeless mercy, as the son of Sri Jagannath Mishra and Srimati Sachi Devi, the moon was eclipsed at the time of his birth, and the people of Nadia on such occasions bathing in the Ganges and loudly crying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. He exhibited the symptoms of love of God to the higher degree and emphasized the chanting of the names of Krishna as the best. It means attain the love of God.
Mahaprabhu's mother's father, Nilambara Chakravarti, who was a great astrologer, prepared the horoscope. And by astrological calculations, he saw that the child is a great personality, and therefore he gave him a name Vishwambara. The neighborhood ladies styled him Gaura Hari on the account of his golden complexion, and his mother used to call him as Nimai on the account of the Nimba tree near which he was born. It is said that when he was an infant in his mother's arm, he continually wept, and when the neighborhood ladies cried Hari Bol, he used to stop. Thus, there is always a continuation of utterance of Hari Bol in the house, foreshadowing the mission of the hero.
One day, Jagannath Mishra saw Nimai walk up to Sachi Mata. They both heard the sweet tinkling sound of anklets, even though Nimai was not wearing anklets at that time. Moreover, they were amazed to see the footprints of their little son. The footprints were decorated with auspicious signs of Lord Vishnu like a flag, thunderbolt, conch shell, fish and Sudarshana chakra. As he grew up, he became a whimsical and frolicsome lad, and after his 5th year, he was admitted into a primary school where he picked up Bengali in a very short time. In his 8th year, he was admitted into the school of Gangadasa in Ganganagara, close to the village of Mayapur. In just 2 years, he became well read in Sanskrit grammar and rhetoric, as well as scriptural studies and logic.
Once a saintly Brahmana came to the house of Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra's house. The Brahmana only used to eat food offered to his Bal Gopal. Sachi Mata gave him some rice and vegetables to cook for his Gopal. The Brahmana started cooking and then rang the bell and did the offering. Suddenly, baby Nimai came in and started eating the offering. The Brahmana thought that the offering was spoiled and became very sad. Sachi Mata carried Nimai out and requested the Brahmana to cook again. The Brahmana cleaned the kitchen and started cooking all over again. Once more he rang the bell and did the offering. Somehow Nimai came in again and ate the offering. This time the Brahmana felt really bad and was almost in tears. Jagannath Mishra scolded Nimai and Sachi Mata locked him in a room. Nimai's elder brother Vishwarupa came and begged for forgiveness and requested the Brahmana to cook again.
By the time Brahmana finished cooking, it was quite late and everyone was asleep. He rang the bell and prepared the offering for the third time. He was amazed to see baby Nimai came inside and eat the offering, thinking that on that day Lord Vishnu was not willing to accept the offering. Brahmana cried aloud and decided to fast. Formerly, I was the son of Mother Yashoda. At that time too, you became a guest in the house of Nanda Maharaja and I disturbed you in this way. I was very much pleased by your devotion. Therefore, I am eating the food you have prepared. Nimai then showed to Brahmana his form as 8-armed form. Then Brahmana was wonder-struck. In this way, faithful Brahmana was made aware of Nimai's real identity and then received the mercy of Lord.
On one pleasant sunny day, baby Nimai was playing outside his house. Two thieves passing by the street got instantly attracted by him and wanted to steal all his ornaments. They took him on his shoulder, pleasing him by offering him sweets. They wanted to take Nimai to the forest and snatch away all his ornaments. But they do not know that baby Nimai was the Supreme Lord himself, and no one can trick the Supreme Lord. They wanted to take Nimai to their own place. However, running around the whole town and village, surprisingly, they landed in front of Nimai's house. At the house of Jagannath Mishra, everyone and all the neighbors were searching for baby Nimai. When they reached there, the thieves got very scared and they left him there because they thought it will be dangerous to stay there, and they left Nimai there. Everyone was so happy to see Nimai safe.
Once on Ekadashi, in a house of a Pandit, there were preparations for special prasadam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked his father to go there and ask for prasadam, pretending to be sick. When Jagannath Mishra went there to ask for prasadam, they were astonished how this small boy could know about this prasadam, and they immediately concluded that this Nimai is a mystic yogi. Immediately sent the prasadam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through his father. After having this, he got cured, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed among his friends as well, thus signifying the power of prasadam.
At the age of 14 or 15, Chaitanya married to Lakshmi Devi, the daughter of Vallabhacharya. At this age, Chaitanya was considered one of the best scholars of Nadia, the renowned seat of logic and Sanskrit learning. All the scholars and logicians were afraid of confronting him in a literary discussions. During Chaitanya's residence in West Bengal, his wife Lakshmi Devi left this world from the effect of snake bite. On returning home, he found his mother in a mourning state. This time he consoled her with a lecture on the uncertainty of human affairs. Later, at his mother's request, he married Vishnupriya, the daughter of Sanatana Mishra.
Tapan Mishra, who was aimless in life, was guided by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya's instruction is especially significant for persons who wander here and they're collecting books and reading none of them, thus becoming and recording the aim of life. Lord told him that the basic principle of successful human life is to chant the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Keshava Kashmiri, also known as Digvijay, was a famous scholar and devotee of Mother Saraswati. Keshava Kashmiri has travelled many places from Kashi to Kanchipuram, Mathura to Mithila, and defeated all the Pandits in the debate, carried with him the certificate of victory, declaring him to be the champion of debate. Once Keshava Kashmiri travelled to Navadvip to display his knowledge. On seeing Nimai, he thought Nimai Pandit is just an ordinary teacher of Sanskrit and he can defeat him easily. But Nimai Pandit humbly asked the great scholar to recite some verses glorifying Mother Ganga. Keshava Kashmiri at once composed and recited hundreds of verses. Everyone were impressed. Nimai Pandit quietly said that there were many mistakes. Keshava Kashmiri could not respond. He was shocked and went back home sad. He prayed to Mother Saraswati, and Goddess Saraswati came to his dream, told that Nimai Pandit is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should go and surrender to him. Keshava Kashmiri realized his mistake. Next day morning, he went to Nimai Pandit and bowed down to him humbly.
At the age of 16 or 17, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu travelled to Gaya where he took spiritual initiation from Ishwar Puri, a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Upon his return to Nadia, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had changed from an arrogant scholar to a religious preacher. He was no longer a contending logician or a criticizing rhetorician, but now was immersed in the holy name of the Lord. Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur and others were astonished to see the change in the Lord. His secretary Murari Gupta had given eyewitness account of how the Lord showed his power in front of hundreds of his disciples who were well-read scholars. At this time, he, along with his students, started a nocturnal school of chanting at the compound of Srivas Thakur. There, the Lord sang, danced, preached, and showed all kinds of ecstatic symptoms.
Nityananda Prabhu, who had just completed his travels all over India, joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time. The first mandate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu issued to Nityananda Prabhu, Srila Haridas Thakura, and another of his intimate disciples was this: Go, friends, go through the streets of the town, meet every man at his door, and ask him to sing the name of Hari and lead a holy life. Then come to me every evening and report the results of your preaching. Once, Nityananda Prabhu and Srila Haridas Thakura were walking down the main road, and on the way, they saw a roaring crowd assembled. Upon inquiring from the passers-by, they understood that two brothers, Jagai and Madai, were creating public disturbance in a drunken state.
The next day, Nityananda Prabhu went to see the brothers. As soon as he approached them, one of the brothers threw a piece of earthen pot at him. This struck him on the forehead, and immediately blood began to flow. But Nityananda Prabhu was so kind. Instead of protesting this terrible act, he said, "It does not matter that you have thrown a stone at me. I still request you to chant the holy name of Lord Hari." One of the brothers, Jagai, was so surprised by seeing Nityananda Prabhu's behavior and at once fell down at his feet and asked for pardon to his sinful brother Madai. When Madai again attempted to hurt Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai stopped him and begged him to fall down at his feet. In the meantime, the news of Nityananda's injury reached the Lord, who at once hurried in a fiery and angry mood. The Lord invoked his Sudarshan Chakra to kill the sinners, but Nityananda Prabhu reminded him of his mission.
The Lord was also asked by Nityananda Prabhu to accept these repenting souls, and he agreed to accept them on one condition, that they henceforward completely give up all their sinful activities and bad habits. Both the brothers agreed and promised to give up all their sinful habits, and the Lord accepted them and did not again refer to their past misdeeds. This is the specific kindness of Lord Chaitanya. The people of Nadia were now surprised and said, "Nimai is not only a gigantic genius, but he is certainly a missionary from God Almighty." From this time to his 23rd year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached his principles not only in Nadia but in all towns and villages around that city. In the houses of his followers, he showed miracles, taught the esoteric principles of devotion, and sang the holy names of God with other devotees.
His followers commenced to sing the holy name of Hari in the streets and bazaars. But some Brahmanas became jealous of Nimai's success and complained to Chandkazi, the ruling magistrate of the district, that Chaitanya was violating Hindu principles. The Qazi went to Srivasa's house and broke a drum, declaring that unless Nimai ceased making noise about his strange religion, the Qazi would be obliged to enforce Mohammedism on him and his followers. Nimai went out with his chanting party, divided into 14 groups. When they arrived at the Qazi's house, they held a long conversation with the Qazi, and in the end communicated into his heart his devotional influence by touching his body. Qazi wept, admitting that the keen spiritual influence he had felt had cleared up his doubts and produced in him the highest ecstasy. Qazi then joined the chanting party.
The Lord embraced the position of sannyasa at Katwa under the guidance of Keshava Bharati of the town at his 24th year. After taking the renounced order, however, on the request of his dear mother Sachi Devi, he consented to live at Jagannath Puri so that she could easily hear news of him. Upon his arrival at Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannatha in the temple and then resided with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya at the latter's request.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a gigantic scholar. Sarvabhauma then requested Chaitanya to hear his recitation of the Vedanta Sutra, to which the latter tacitly submitted. Chaitanya heard with silence what the great Sarvabhauma uttered with gravity for 7 days. Sarvabhauma thought Chaitanya did not understand the meaning of the Vedanta Sutra, as he did not say anything despite hearing his recitations and explanations. Chaitanya replied that he understood the meaning of the verses of the Vedanta very well, but could not understand what Shankaracharya meant by his commentaries. Sarvabhauma then asked him, "How is it that you understand the meaning of the verses but not their commentaries?" He then requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to explain the verses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then explained the Vedanta Sutra in his own way without touching upon the pantheistic commentary of Shankaracharya. Sarvabhauma saw the truth, beauty and harmony of Lord Chaitanya's teachings. He was then obliged to utter that it was the first time he had found someone who could explain the Vedanta Sutra in such a simple way. He then submitted himself as a follower of Lord Chaitanya and became one of the greatest devotees of his time.
Meanwhile, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought of visiting South India. He first went to Kurma Kshetra, where he showed a miracle of curing a leper named Vasudev. He then met Ramananda Raya, the governor of Vidyanagar, on the banks of river Godavari, where he had a philosophical discussion with him on the subject of love of God. Throughout his journey, throughout his tour to South India, he preached the importance of devotional service and the chanting of holy names of the Lord. He then went to Ranka Kshetra, where he spent 4 months of Chaturmasya at the house of Venkata Bhatta, and he converted the whole family of Venkata Bhatta into devotional service of Krishna, along with the son of Venkata, Gopal, who was just 10 years old. Gopal in future went to Vrindavan and became one of the 6 Goswamis.
In his 28 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gauda in Malda, Bengal. There he picked up 2 great personages, Rupa and Sanatana. Though descendant from the line of the Brahmanas, the 2 brothers had become demi-Muslim due to continual contact with Hussein Shah, the emperor of Gauda. They have found no way to become a regular Hindu and had written to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his spiritual help. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had written in reply that he will come and extricate them from their spiritual difficulties. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at Gauda, the 2 brothers appeared before him with their long-standing prayers. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them to go to Vrindavan and see him there. After training Rupa Goswami for 10 continuous days in Allahabad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directed him to go to Vrindavan to write theological works explaining spiritual devotion and revive the places in Vrindavan.
Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came down to Banaras. Sanatana Goswami joined him there and took instruction for 2 months on spiritual matter. While at Banaras, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had an interview with the learned sannyasis of the town. The sannyasis were headed by their most learned leader, Prakashananda Saraswati. But after a short controversy, they submitted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, admitting that they had been misled by the commentaries of Shankaracharya, fell at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and asked for his grace. After sending Sanatana to Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Puri again through the jungles with his companion Balabhadra, who revealed Lord glories on the way, such as making tigers and elephants dance upon hearing the name of Krishna.
From his 31st year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continually lived in the house of Kashi Mishra. During his last 18 years in this world, Lord Chaitanya's life was one of settled love and pity. He was surrounded by numerous followers, all of whom were exalted devotees distinguished from the common people by their pure character, deep learning, firm religious principles, and spiritual love of Radha Krishna.
Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna in his most merciful feature. Therefore, even one doesn't understand Lord Chaitanya's identity as a Supreme Lord, but accepts him as a saintly person or as a social reformer or philosopher, one can still derive the highest benefit by chanting the names of God. Without knowing anything at all about Lord Chaitanya, people throughout the world have enthusiastically participated in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtana movement of chanting, dancing and partaking of spiritual food, prasadam.
Though the growing Hare Krishna movement, Lord Chaitanya's production is quickly coming to pass, and the holy name of Krishna is known everywhere. The day will come soon when knowledge and appreciation of Lord Chaitanya will also become widespread, because whosoever chants Hare Krishna becomes Lord Chaitanya's follower, and then he enlightens the devotee from within, revealing the highest knowledge, transcendental knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. CC Madhya 6.242. Harir Nama eva kevalam kalau naste vivinaste eva naste eva gatiranyatha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, falseness, the only mean of deliverance, freedom, is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way.